The J-35 fighter program, currently one of the most high-profile military aviation projects in China, is being positioned as the backbone of future Chinese carrier aviation. Developed by Shenyang Aircraft Corporation under the Aviation Industry Corporation of China (AVIC), the J-35 aims to deliver a fifth-generation stealth multirole platform that is specifically engineered for carrier-based operations. However, beneath its sleek appearance and state-backed promotion lies a reality marked by delays, incomplete development phases, and a lack of transparency regarding performance, safety, and real-world capability. As of mid-2025, open-source intelligence has confirmed that at least 2 J-35 aircraft have entered low-rate initial production. Identified by the tail numbers 0011 and 0012, these aircraft were seen in military-industrial facilities during a state media broadcast, likely a planned soft reveal by the Chinese government. The aircraft were painted in naval gray primer and exhibited carrier-ready modifications including a twin-wheel nose landing gear suitable for catapult launches, serrated stealth engine nozzles, and folding wings, which are essential for storage aboard an aircraft carrier. However, these aircraft were observed at land-based facilities, and no confirmed imagery or credible reports have indicated any actual deployment aboard China's latest aircraft carrier, the Type 003 Fujian. The transition from the original FC-31 prototype to the J-35 configuration has taken more than a decade, raising concerns among analysts and military observers about the overall pace and challenges of the program. Originally flying in 2012, the FC-31 was an uncommitted project without Chinese military backing. It was only after years of developmental stagnation and the rising demand for a carrier-based stealth aircraft that the design was revived and restructured into the current J-35 form. Despite this relaunch, progress has remained relatively slow, especially when compared to timelines associated with carrier-capable aircraft developed by more experienced nations in naval aviation. One of the most persistent technical hurdles involves engine development. Early variants of the FC-31 and J-35 were powered by the WS-13E engine, itself a Chinese evolution of the Russian Rod-93. While suitable for prototype testing, the WS-13E lacks the thrust and durability required for carrier operations, particularly when launching from short runways or catapults with heavy ordnance. In recent years, reports have surfaced that newer airframes are flying with the WS-21 engine, but the engine's final certification and actual performance remain unconfirmed. A more powerful option, the WS-19, is believed to be under development, but there is no verified evidence of that engine being integrated into the J-35 program. Without a confirmed high-thrust, reliable engine, the J-35 cannot meet performance requirements such as supersonic cruising, high-altitude maneuverability, or extended-range strike missions with full combat loads. Beyond propulsion, the J-35's avionics and mission systems are still largely speculative. Chinese media frequently claims the aircraft is equipped with advanced AESA radar, infrared search and track (IRST), networked battlefield data links, electronic countermeasures, and sensor fusion technologies on par with leading global fifth-generation platforms. However, there is no open-source evidence of any live demonstrations, joint force network exercises, or testing that validate these claims. Even in Chinese promotional materials, cockpit interfaces and mission systems are often represented with placeholder graphics or heavily edited footage, indicating that full avionics maturity has not been reached. Analysts also point out the lack of participation in international air exercises or comparative fly-offs, further clouding any real insight into the platform's functionality. One glaring gap in the development timeline is the absence of public footage or credible documentation showing the J-35 conducting carrier launches or recoveries, one of the most essential milestones for any naval aircraft. Despite China's Fujian aircraft carrier being launched in 2022 and now in advanced harbor trials, there is no visual or satellite evidence that the J-35 has been integrated with it. There are no catapult launch tests, no arrested landings, and no deck handling trials confirmed. This raises significant doubts about the platform's readiness. For a fifth-generation fighter, integration with naval infrastructure involves immense complexity. Avionics must sync with carrier battle group command systems, the airframe must survive repetitive stress landings, and engines must be capable of operating in saltwater corrosive, high-vibration environments over prolonged durations. Even land-based testing remains opaque. Though China has constructed carrier simulation runways and electromagnetic catapult tracks for training purposes, only 1 or 2 images exist of the J-35 in such settings, and even those images are unclear and may have been staged. Without actual sea trials, it's impossible to validate whether the aircraft is truly carrier-capable or just carrier-configured. The program's tightly managed image has led to serious overhype. Every major update about the aircraft has been carefully framed through state-run television or official press releases that lack technical detail. Key characteristics like radar cross-section (RCS), weapons loadouts, radar range, and data link bandwidth remain either unmentioned or suspiciously vague. Moreover, all observed airframes continue to fly with Lüneburg radar reflectors, devices that increase radar visibility to prevent accurate measurement of stealth performance. These reflectors are typically removed in mature stealth platforms during flight testing to assess real-world radar evasion capability. Their continued use on J-35 aircraft, even in production hangars, suggests that stealth features are still undergoing adjustment or have not met required thresholds. Another unexplored angle is the lack of safety and reliability data. In high-performance fighter development, incidents such as test crashes, flameouts, or mechanical malfunctions are common and typically part of the learning curve. In China's case, however, there have been no such reports involving the J-35. This could either imply highly successful design work, unlikely given the complexity involved, or more realistically, a total information blackout. In authoritarian systems with tight media controls, failures are often withheld from the public narrative to maintain an illusion of flawless progress. This makes it impossible to assess how durable or maintainable the J-35 really is under operational stress, particularly on a pitching carrier deck. Despite widespread claims, no confirmed export interest has materialized either. While Chinese media has hinted that some countries have shown interest in a land-based J-35 variant for future sales, these remain unverified. No contracts, joint development agreements, or flight demonstrations have been reported. The platform has also never been publicly displayed at international arms expos like Zhuhai or MOX in any flight-ready configuration. Without formal international exposure, foreign military evaluation, or peer benchmarking, it is difficult to take export claims seriously. Another layer of overstatement involves claims that the J-35 is already combat-capable. There is no public evidence that the aircraft has carried out live fire drills, deployed smart munitions, or executed beyond visual range engagements. No evidence exists of joint training missions with Chinese naval surface vessels, AEW and sea systems, or missile defense networks. As a result, terms like fifth generation or carrier-ready appear to be more aspirational than factually grounded at this point. The J-35 program is at a critical but incomplete stage. 2 aircraft have entered limited production, design refinements are ongoing, and the airframe has achieved visual maturity. However, critical elements, including engine readiness, naval flight operations, mission system validation, stealth testing, and safety certification, remain either unfinished or hidden. What has been achieved is more visual than functional, a well-marketed airframe backed by a highly centralized communication strategy. The aircraft has become a tool of strategic messaging, used to demonstrate technological parity with other major powers. But the lack of carrier flight evidence, transparent testing data, and third-party evaluation suggests the J-35 still has a long way to go before becoming a frontline, carrier-deployed fighter jet. Until key technical hurdles are addressed and the aircraft proves itself in real-world conditions, much of the J-35's current image rests on controlled exposure and ambitious rhetoric, not verified capability.